Recently, though, I did have a situation that I do want to talk about, and that's about content, your content, digital rights, usage rights. Now, I'm not an expert in this area whatsoever, but this is like some bare minimum information for anyone that produces content. Whether or not you do it as a hobby, you do it for fun, share with friends or family, or you do it professionally, you are producing content on any of these platforms. And today what I'm talking about specifically when it comes to usage rights is with media companies. So here's a sitch. I've recently got reached out to by a media company. They're well known throughout the country. And I tag them in a lot of my stuff, but they reached out to me specifically when it came to one of my content they found on TikTok, which I did not tag them in. Now, usually when I do get reach outs, it is with one of my content going viral. This one was not viral, but neither here nor there. They asked if they could post their socials. I said yes, because they didn't ask me to sign anything, which other media companies have asked me, which I'll show you in a minute. And it's not like it's a brand. It's not like, I know I'm not going to make money right now on this. So I said yes. It ended up performing on par with the rest of the stuff they repost on their page. But the point of this is supposedly exposure for us creators, right? Reposts from pages like this are supposed to help us grow, right? For those that don't know, it's not 2018. Reposts don't help growth anymore. We're helping them more than they're helping us. You're the one that put in the time, effort, and labor, which is money. And all they had to do was look through a few hashtags and then repost to their page. Here's what happened. They came back a few days later to ask if they could repost the same video onto their Facebook, but with their logo on it. And this is where I put up my boundary, because they're trying to pass off my content as theirs. So this is how I responded. I charge usage for across platforms. And honestly, I could have said this from the beginning just to even repost on Instagram, but honestly, I just wanted to use this as a case study, especially because I know what the answer is going to be. Lo and behold, they responded exactly how I predicted they were going to respond. No budget, but I appreciate they actually did respond and didn't ghost, unlike other companies. Companies like this. I mean, I've never heard of Kraken, but I've heard of Unilever, and I'm sure many of you have as well. They're huge. Now you might be thinking, oh, huge company reached out. Amazing. Exposure. But I and many other people that produce content are familiar with these kinds of reach outs, know that this is just a scheme. And this is why even if you don't produce content seriously, you need to understand your rights, because even if you don't find it valuable, clearly someone else does. They send a link in the DMs of a form for you to fill out, looking innocuous enough, banking on the fact that most people aren't going to read the terms and conditions. This is exactly the same as when brands will comment on your posts, asking like, oh, we love your post, hashtag yes and or whatever, in order for us to repost you. Those are actually terms and conditions that you're agreeing to. Most of the time, you're agreeing to give away your content for free. Unilad's agreement that they send people is pretty outrageous. Let's just read through the first part of the licensing and IP, the first paragraph, right away. You agree that we own or will own all right, title, and interest, including copyright, in and to any photos, footage, and visual or audio visual. Like, I can't even go on, because they're basically saying we own your shit. We're not paying you. Like, what the fuck? And herein lies around the conversation about brands taking advantage of creators with situations like this, because they're armed, they're ready, they know what they're doing, but you don't, and you're giving away your content for free. You're so concerned with exposure that you're willing to do anything, but brands that value you will pay. You just have to be comfortable walking away if it doesn't work out. You have leverage, whether or not you believe it. I'm not gonna lie, I get a lot of FOMO when I see a lot of my peers' names popping up somewhere and the perceived exposure they're getting. But I sleep better at night knowing that I control my content. And if I do give it away or something like that, it's on my terms.